All right, welcome everybody to Atlantic University and my class on QR codes, digital business cards, and video mixing. As you can tell, it's a little bit of a hodgepodge talk on some new tech for use in the SCA. That QR code on the title slide will take you to the course materials. I also dropped a link into the chat, and you'll have a couple of other opportunities. If you can't remember that, Baron Lloyd, spelled with a W.org, is my website, and it is posted in the topmost article there on that website as well. So our topics for today, we're going to talk about QR codes, we're going to talk about digital business cards, and then having given you that, I'm going to talk about things that you can put on your QR codes and the digital business cards, which include websites and wikis. And then an additional topic, if we have time, I'll talk a little bit about video mixing for meetings. All right, so the first topic is QR codes. So QR code stands for quick response. I don't know anybody that uses the terminology quick response, but that's where the letters come from. It is a random appearing set of dots that your phone camera can convert to a link or other data. And it's quick and easy. It saves typing. It reduces mistakes. Here are three examples. The one on the left is my QR code. It takes you to a Linktree site, and I'll talk about how I created that and what that is in a little bit. The middle one takes you to my Baronial website that I maintain, the Barony of Tiradon. And then just an example of something else you can do with QR code, the QR code on the right will pull up your email app on your phone, and we'll start an email with a destination, a subject matter, a subject line, and a body of text. So it's interesting that the QR codes allow you to do that. I could see that potentially being abused a little bit. Note that it doesn't actually send the email, and if you were to hit send, it wouldn't go anywhere because the email address that I used for the destination is at example.com, I think, and that doesn't actually go anywhere. It's set up to be a nowhere address. So creating a QR code is really surprisingly easy. Both the Chrome and Edge web browsers will create a QR code on any page on the web just by using the right-click menu. So you go to CNN.com or whatever it is that you want to create a QR code for, you right-click, use your right mouse button, and that menu on the right will pop up, and most 2/3 of the way down, there's an option to create QR code for this page. I know that the current version of Firefox does not. I don't know if other browsers like Opera will do that or not, but it's quick and easy from many web browsers. Or you can Google for a QR code generator. That's how I was able to create the email QR code. I had to go looking and find one that would support that. So those are free and easy, and they're out there. They just take a little more work than right-clicking on on a web page. So why would you want to use a QR code? Well, you can put it on your group website. You can put your group website or group social media link QR code on a big sign at your demos so that people don't have to sign up on a roster and put in their name and their email address and allow you to spam them. That will get a fair bit more engagement, I think, because people can interact with you on their own terms. They can look up what's going on and follow you for a little while and decide that you're on the up and up before they actually volunteer any information or start to interact with you. You can also put up your personal website or your social media link up on your displays or classes. And I started to see people doing that at Kingdom A&S more and more. I don't know, 10% of the people are doing that. And I'm hoping that this will encourage people to do more of that. One more thing about having your QR codes at A&S displays. Please don't rely on that to link for all of your documentation. Have a paper copy of your documentation as your primary version that's there for people to pick up. And there's two reasons for that. One, many sites that we use in the SCA do not have good cell signal. And the second one is some people won't read or follow a web link during an event. Either they won't know what it is, or they won't want to pull out their phone, or they don't want to read, a 20-page treatise on a little bitty phone screen with microprint. So don't rely on that. I use the link, and I have a nice sign that was on my title slide, and I'll show it again later, for secondary information like my class list and my handouts and all the other things, all the other cool things that I've done over the last 20 or 30 years of the SCA. They're on my webpage. That's where those live, and the link takes you to that. And my primary documentation is there in a notebook and paper for people to look at and discuss with me. So my next topic is digital business cards. What these are programmable near field communication NFC cards that that when you hold them up to a smartphone will ask permission to open a web link. They're plastic. They look like a credit card, except they're completely plain. They cost about 50 cents each. You can program them from your phone, and you can program them repeatedly. They're not write once. You can write them as many times as you want, so you don't have to worry about screwing it up and having to throw away your card. And to do that, you need to search your phone store app store for something with the name or description NFC tools. So I use an Android app called NFC tools. There are other ones for Android, and I know there are many for Apple phones as well. And to use it, I would assume the other tools will work very similarly to this. You choose right on the main screen, at the top of the main screen. You click add a record. You tell it what kind of record you want to add. In this case, it's a URL. And you enter your website. You hit OK. You hit write. It'll tell you to bring the card up near your phone. You hold it up there. It'll put that data onto the card. Quick and easy, like 5 steps. Very easy to do. So what else do these tags look like? So I have 2 types. I have the business card type, which are a business card or credit card size, and they're plain white. And I have stickers. They're 1-inch circular stickers about the size of a US quarter. And they're plain. You can stick them to anything. I have one stuck to my name sign beside the QR code for my website, so people can either scan the QR code or tap the dot, or they can pick up the card. But there are all kinds of other options out there. If you search Amazon for NFC tags, you'll see lots of flashy color ones that are cool. There are wristbands. There are all kinds of different things you can get that have this same functionality, depending on your application. All right, so you have a business card or a QR code. What do you point it at? Well, I'm going to give you a short little bit on SCA websites. Why would you want an SCA website? Well, you can advertise your group or your event, or you can have a personal website where you're making your work visible outside of your local group to help with SCA recognition. You can share your knowledge, your work, your enthusiasm. You can find other folks that are interested in your topic, and just document, years of work. All right, I can see that we have some information going on in the chat. Sorry. That's not what I meant to do. All right, keep going. So what do you want to put on your site? Well, you want to put your own work. You want to put pictures with captions. You want to put tutorials. You want to link to videos. You want to put your documentations. You want to put PDFs of your handouts. You want to have an about you page that tells what you're doing. And you want to have pictures. Take lots and lots of pictures. Remember that your digital film is free, but have spare batteries. If you use 10% of your shots, you're doing great. I don't think I use 10% of my shots. I just attended a class last hour on digital photography in the SCA, and he was saying he used about 5% of his shots. So I think that's probably a good guideline. Before you're taking your pictures, please take a look around at your surroundings. Watch your backgrounds. Cars, porta-johns, coolers, soda cans, signs can all distract. Be aware of those things before you begin photographing your items, and you will not need to remove them later. So if you look at all three of these excellent examples of pictures with bad things in the background that my wife and or I took. The one on the right is less obvious. There are modern bags of candy and stuff in the picture that are less ideal than they could be. And plan your pictures. What kind of story are you trying to tell? Are you illustrating an object, describing a technique, documenting a process, recording an event, or do you just want to do it all? Have a plan, so that when you get home, you have the pictures you need in order to tell the story that you wanted to tell. So those 4 or 5 slides were from a previous class that my wife and I put together on websites and photos. And if you want to see the previous class notes, which are much longer, there was originally 2 one-hour classes that I compressed into 10 minutes there. You can see those at that link, or there's another link for a YouTube recording of that class. And we talk a lot more about how to compose your shots and backgrounds and depth of field and all kinds of good things in that regard. All right, we are going pretty quick here. All right, wikis. So what is a wiki? Wikis are just another type of website. It's the particular software that the website is running. Most often it's called MediaWiki, but there are other software programs that will generate a wiki type website. And what's unusual about them is that the content is created and maintained by the website users themselves. So some famous wikis, or the most famous one is Wikipedia, but there's also a dictionary version called Wiktionary. There's a Star Wars fan site called Wikipedia. There's an a historic martial arts site called Wikton Hour, which is a play on Lichtenauer. Hour. Lots of specialized topics like video game hints, fandom groups, all kinds of those exist. I've created a couple that I've tried out as demonstrations on costuming. They never went very far, and I didn't advertise them or release them, but they're still kind of sitting there if you somehow find a link. So they're fun. Whoops. Let's back up there. So Atlania has a wiki. Its address is wiki.atlania.sca.org. This is what the main page looks like when you go there. There are about 1,400 pages of information on the Atlantean Wiki currently, last I checked, and there are pages about people. I have a personal page. There are pages about groups, about baronies, shires, cantons, households. There are pages about awards, A&S topics, martial topics. I've created 15 or 20 pages on there for all the different things that I'm involved in that I thought other people might be interested in. You can certainly do that yourself, or you can just go and browse. There's lots of cool information on that on the Atlantean Wiki, and I encourage you to go make use of that. Here's one example. This is my personal page. This is a page about me. It has a picture of me. It has my arms. It has a short overview. It has a list of my offices, a list of my projects. There's a category on the wiki page called Populous that you can click on, and it will list all the people who have personal pages, and you can go explore and see what other people are doing. You need an account to edit or add to the wiki, but you do not need one to read it. So you can go and look and see if it's something you are interested in participating in. Due to a brief invasion of spam a year or more ago, accounts are now created manually. You go to this link, or it's available on the main page to create an account and request one. You wait for the site manager to create your account, and you go back to the wiki and click on login button on the upper right and put in your name and password. This is not the same login as the Atlantean Enterprise login that you use to create and register for your university classes, or that you use if you're in a polling order to access the polling information. It's a different account than that. Again, for more about wikis, I've previously done a class on wikis that's longer, and there's a link to the slides for that. I did not record the class, so there's no video for that, but you can get more information from that class. So now that you have a page on the wiki, or you have a web page that you created, you have a QR code and a digital business card, how you put it all together. One option is to make a simple contact page. Either if you don't have a web page, or if you have more than one that you want to share, you can create a contact page like this one. This can contain your contact information that you want to share. It doesn't have to be all of it, but any of the options that you want to share, your phone, your email, your address. It can link to other web pages or sites. It can link to your social media accounts. It can do all of those things. So you can see, if you scan that QR code, it'll take you to this page on Linktree, which is a service that has my personal digital business card. So this is the online part of my digital business card. If you scan my QR code or tap my card, this is what it'll bring you to, and it has my email address, my websites, and my Facebook and Twitter or X, and my YouTube site, all in one easy to read and click on and search for. Linktree has paid and free options. I'm using all the free options. I've got 3 different Linktree pages, one for my SCA stuff, one for my professional stuff, and one for a particular piece of code that I released. So it's quick and easy to use, and it's a good way to just share your information with people. So now that you have a QR code and a website or a wiki or something, put that on all your class slides and your handouts and your slides on your website. Make paper business cards so that people can use them when you're at a site that doesn't have good cell signal, or they don't want to pull out their phone, with your website and your QR code. You can see mine in the middle there. Make a digital business card. There's a picture of my NFC card on the left, where I've printed just a mailing label to add to it that has my name and the same QR code, so people can either hold it to the back of their phone and use it over the NFC connection, or they can scan it with their phone camera. And then the picture on the right is the sign that I'm going to have up at my display in a month at Kingdom A&S, that has a picture of me doing my art. I'm doing historic martial arts, and there's a picture of me doing this pose, and a picture of the plate from the manual that I'm recreating, and it has a list of my websites, and then it has my QR code. It has one of the 1-inch disc NFC dots, and then I'm going to have my business card also sitting below it, both paper and the plastic one that you can hold to the back of your phone. So if I've sold you on this, you don't need to go out and buy one. I bought 60 1-inch stickers and 60 of the business cards. I will be happy to give you one or both if you come up and ask me. I will, in the next month, I will be at the Marinus Investiture next weekend at Camp Pipsico, and a month from now, I will be at Kingdom Arts and Sciences, which is in Tiradon in Newport News, Virginia. It is literally a stone throw from I-64. You will not get lost going to our site, and you will have lots of fun. It is a great site. We've held Kingdom Arts and Sciences there twice before. It's a huge room with a bunch of meeting rooms in addition. It will be a good time, and I will be happy to give you one or both of the digital cards. I will have a table showing my Fiore historic martial arts work, so I'll have some swords and videos running. You can try out my NFC card and sticker and see how they work. If you want me to put your website on your card or help you to do so, I'll be happy to do that. Or you can just take a blank to write to later after you figure it out. You do not need to pay me anything for them. The stickers were about $0.25 a piece, and the business cards were like 50 cents a piece in the bulk that I bought them. So utterly trivial on cost. Please come and take advantage of that if that's something that interests you.
Would you mind mailing them?
Maybe after Kingdom Arts and Sciences, I could do that.
Okay.
So,
I'm in Borderville, so
uh, yeah. Or you can order them in blocks of 10 from Amazon. I think the first batch where I was experimenting with it was $7 for 10 of them. So a little more expensive in small quantities, but not awful. So, and then you can
awesome.
share them with other people in your local group. So my last topic, since I was padding this hodgepodge topic on tech to kind of give you a sampling of a bunch of things that I've been dabbling in and using for SCA, doesn't mix quite as well with the other topics. It's on video mixing for meetings. I use a piece of free software called OBS, which is something, forget what O is, but it's a broadcast studio, something broadcast studio. It uses cameras you already own. You can use your webcam, you can use old cell phones, you can use digital SLRs if they'll shoot in a video mode. You can optionally add purchased button sets for quick switching, but you don't have to. They just make it a little cooler. Here is a slightly older picture of where I'm sitting. I have a computer that I'm presenting at. I have a webcam that's sitting on top of the main monitor. Then I have a second camera sitting over on the other computer that gives me a wider view, and that's useful when I'm doing my historic martial arts class. If I want to, show me actually holding my sword or doing some kind of motion, having a shot of more of my body than just my face is useful. I have a second computer. I'm using that today to log in so that I can see what I'm sharing and make sure that I haven't gotten switched to some weird view, that it's not what I want to talk about. On the left, I have a TV tray with basically it's a light stand. It's an old style hinged light, but in this case, it has like a hair clip on it that's holding a cell phone that is pointing straight down. And I'm using as a stage so I can show close-ups on, in this case, embroidery on my shirt, as an example. And that cell phone is old. It's not used for a cell phone, but the camera on it is still pretty good. And that all works pretty well. And in the middle, I have a set of buttons that allows me to toggle between all the different sources on the fly. I'm not using this system for this class, so I can't show it to you on the fly because I had difficulty getting it to mesh well with the recording. But when I'm not recording, it works really well. I've actually upgraded from the 6-button Stream Deck to a 15-button version because I use it so much. And what this allows you to do is switch between sources, merge sources. So, on the upper left, I have my slide. I have a picture of me talking, and then I also have a picture from the cell phone camera of the actual book that's my source material, and we can zoom in and look at the text. And then I've got it arranged in different order, in different combinations. I can put overlays on. So in the bottom left, I've got a lower third. That's a technical term, overlay that has my name and my websites and my, that I'm from Atlanta, and I can make that appear and disappear. All right. Am I still here? Okay. One of my computers lost its VPN connection. That was something that I should have turned off before this class. I will turn it off before my class tomorrow. So the main trick with using OBS with virtual meeting is there's the functionality is built right in. On the lower right menu, there's a button that says Start Virtual Camera. When you click that, you will start something called OBS camera that you can then toggle Zoom or Meet or Discord or whatever you're using for your video chat to use that as your web camera instead. If you don't have it turned on, you'll see this logo, and it'll indicate that it's not actually transmitting. You don't need to share your screen in the meeting software. OBS will do that function for you. Now, an important tip, though, with OBS is that meeting settings that replace or blur your background will mess up the images you're sharing. The overlays won't work well. Zoom or Google Meet won't know what to do with them, and they'll blur them out or blur you out, and you won't get a good result mixing those two functionalities. So here's my older 6-button called a Stream Deck, not to be confused with a Steam Deck, which is a gaming console. So be careful how you type that. It's easy to map a button on your Stream Deck to a scene in OBS to allow you to switch between your cameras or toggle parts of the overlays on and off. You can download custom art to put them on your button. So the lower left button there that's labeled stage, I put in a curtains and a stage on that button rather than something else, just to help me make it quick and easy for me to select that if that's where I want to point things to. So like a number of the other topics, I have done an hour-long class on just this video mixing stuff. And I have the class available in multiple formats. So I have a web page that runs through it. That's just a web article. I have slides for that class, and I have a YouTube video for it. All of those are linked here. If you are interested in doing more video mixing. And I'm out really close, even though I had 38 slides, I flew through them. So please, hopefully, plan to join us at Atlanta's Kingdom Arts and Sciences Festival in a month. This is also Pterodon's Perennial Investiture. I'm Pterodon's Seneschal. I will not be the new Baron and Baroness or Baroness. I have done that. I enjoyed it. It was fun, but I don't feel the need to do it again anytime soon. So we have some excellent people stepping up. So that will be a lot of fun. It is in a month. In March, on March 2nd, it is the Newport News. There is the website, kasf.atlantia.sca.org. There is a QR code to circle back to the topic of this class for the Kingdom Arts and Sciences website. And the smaller QR code is a link to the slides that I have just presented. So I will stop sharing at this point, and we have some time to chat or ask questions, or you can just head off if you have learned enough. All right, so go ahead.
So what I was going to ask is, so I've used OBS to record my classes.
Mm-hmm.
Like I see that, like, you're recording via Zoom. Would you, like, what are your pros and cons with using different things to record, different programs to record?
I don't have a lot of experience with that yet. The earlier classes that I've had recorded were done by my TA. So all I was doing was presenting the material, and another person was recording the class for me. I have done something complicated with a Zoom where we did a pitch for the revised Academy de Spay when we put together a set of bylaws and got it approved with a royal charter. Caradwin and I gave a presentation on what everything meant and what the new policies were, and that was kind of complicated. She was at her house, I was at my house. I was running OBS to mix her camera over Zoom with my local camera with the slides we prepared into one screen, and then with an Academy logo, and then she could switch and she did the recording. And that worked really well. But it was a little complicated to set up. So I haven't actually used the built-in functionality in OBS to record yet, and that might have worked better.
Interestingly enough, for recording of presentations ahead of time, I actually ended up using Microsoft PowerPoint these days actually has a method of recording that directly into your PowerPoint slides, which is an interesting method of doing it.
What do you end up with? Is it a PowerPoint presentation, or is it
it's a
video
PowerPoint
file?
presentation, but it's like you can tell the difference because if you're just looking at it before you hit play on the sound, there's a little like speaker kind of half shaded image that'll show in the right that includes that, and you can include the video or not, as the case may be. Now your choices of placement of that video are not terribly great. But in and of itself, it was quite interesting to do. The other really nice thing about it is that it ties the recording to each of the slides. So if you mess up on one slide, you don't have to go back and do the whole thing. You can just go back to the previous slide, back to the start of that slide and start again.
Nice.
Which was kind of pleasant. But that was a trick that I picked up because we had to pre-record for an academic conference, and that was how they wanted it.
Okay. That's another cool alternative. The thing that I will be learning to do on my class tomorrow, which is on a historic martial arts topic, is I have pre-recorded video of me doing 21 of the plays that I'm talking about. I don't think I'm going to have time to do all 21, but I'm prepared. And I'll show the plate, I'll show a translation, and then I'll cut to a video of me doing it, 2 months ago with my son. And that makes the PowerPoint really huge. It's a 2 gigabyte PowerPoint. It's too big to upload to my website. And we'll see how it works and how it records. I have done some tech testing with my wife on another computer, and it seems to work. We'll just see how if it actually works in practice.